Welcome to the Sanchez family. Today we're gonna to deal with mathematics as 23 July 2024. So the purpose for this video it is to guide the students or the candidate who will participate in the national exam. So in this video, I show you the hint for especially subjective and objective question. When you say objective question, it is especially like the remembering, understanding questions. And also for subjective, we deal with what we call like a creative or creating. So before we start, it is better for the students to read instruction before start the national exam. So let us start for instruction. Uh, yes, please. Okay. The first instruction, it is write your name and index number on the answer booklet as they appear on your registration form, and do not write your name and index number on addition answer sheet of paper if provided. Do not open this paper until you told to do so. Instruction number 3. This paper consists of two sections, section A and section B. For section A, you must attempt all questions. For section B, answer only 3 questions. So, instruction number 4, you may use mathematical instrument and calculator where necessary. Instruction number 5, use blue or black pen only, means that lead pen is not allowed. And even for drawing, you may use what you call pencils. Instruction number 6, show clearly all working step. Marks will not be awarded for answer without working step. Yes. Then let me start with the questionnaire by reading question step by step. Then I will continue with the marking guide also step by step. If it is better to take the notebook by making the summary for question by question. It is better for you. Please, in mathematics, we need more exercise in order to pass well. The mathematics does not learn it by using observation. It is learned by using more practice. Yes? Okay, let us start. For this section, we have 15 questions for section A and 5 questions for section B. In section A, all 15 questions you must attempt it. But in section B, for the 5 questions, you choose only 3 questions. Yes, let us start. For question number 1, we give us a set A and we ask to complete whether it's belong or not belonging. That is the question number 1. I don't read more, but I try to explain for the marking guide. Yes? Okay. Question number 2. It is work out the following without using calculator. If you ask it, don't use calculator. Please don't use calculator. If you use it, you will score 0 marks out of 3. Yes? For here, you must try to remembering the body mass from the P5. I show you the hint for the marking guide. Question number 3, it is the adding the following algebraic function and simplify. For here, for that question, the hint is, first you put only common denominators. It is better to start by factorize that denominator, which you call the quadratic function, and then you continue with what you call put on the common denominator, then you make addition. Yes, if you don't factorize that quadratic function, For 90%, you will fail. Question number 4. Convert. We have for here 518 in base 8. We ask to convert in base 9. For here, it is you start by convert base 8 to base 10. Then you continue by convert from base 10 to base 9. Yes, that is the hint. For here, that is question number 5. It is what we call rationalize. For rationalize, you make what you call denominator by conjugating, then you multiply with numerator and denominator. That is the hint. It is not difficult. That is the content for the unit number 1 in the senior 2 in the power analysis. Question number 6. It is a cylinder fuel tank that has radius of 2 meter and the height is 6 meter. Then you ask to calculate the volume. That is a simple question for senior 1. Question number 7. That is what you call the Taylor's theory. That is the show that graph. Then you ask you to find the value of x. That is a simple question. I show you in the marking guide. Please wait as soon as possible. Question number 80. Write the formula of probability of mutually exclusive. That is the hint for here. The probability of A intersection B is 0. Means that the probability of the probability of A union B is equal to probability A plus probability of B. That is, it is not difficult. What is the sample space? That is the possible outcome. Yes, that is. I will show you in the marking guide. Yes, please. That is the calculate the angle marked by A, B, and C. What the following in figure. For here, it is the question about understanding. When you see that angle, and even that angle, because that line are parallel, it means that the angle of A and the angle of C is equal to the angle of that 46. Then you ask to find the B. The angle for B and even the angle for here, both are the same. Means that even that angle for that whole line, it is a 180. Means that you take 180 minus 46, then you get that angle for B. It is simple. Please make sure subscribe, share, and comment on that Santi family. Even when you have any suggestion, any past paper you want, please type in the comment. Don't worry. So that is the team. It is not only one person. It means that we have the many skills about that papers. Even all of us, we are the professional teachers which work in the field of education. Don't worry, please. That is question number 10. Solve a simultaneous equation. For simultaneous equation, you may apply, if you ask that question, you may apply the method you want, because that does not precise whether it is elimination, whether it is substitution, whether it is comparison, whether it is the Kalama method. You use your best ways. Yes. Question number 11. We have rectangle with length is 8 centimeter and width 4 centimeter, enlarged by the scale factor of 3. What are the new dimension? Also, I will show you in the marking guide. Choose. Question number 12. Choose the solution set of the following quadratic equation. For here, it is not necessary to solve that quadratic. Even you can check for that solution which will provide us. So when you put the factor means that when you replace on that equation, you get 0. When you take like minus 3, then you substitute in the value of x, you get 0. And even when you take 80, then you substitute with the value of x, you get 0. It means that the correct answer it is A. If not, when you take 8 over 3, you replace that equation, you get 0. And the 3, you get 0. Means the correct answer is B. When you take C, you replace for here, and even minus 8 over 3, you replace, then you get 0. Means it is the factor. Means it is not necessary to use like the Rita factorize. Even when you substitute that solution, then you get 0. You choose the correct answer is that one. Yes. Question number 13. Right triangle has hypotenuse 12 long, and then one short side is 8. When you say hypotenuse, you try to understand what you call Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem says that hypotenuse square is equal to b square plus a square. Then you substitute, then you find the side which was missed. Like find the length of further side. Yes, you take square for here, minus that square, then you put square root, then you get the side which was missing. Then you calculate the area of triangle. Area of triangle means that it is base times the height, then over 2. Means you take that side 8 centimeter, and even that side you get, then you multiply, then you divide by 2, then you get the area. Question number 14. We have point A and B. That's the point A and the point B. Then you ask to find the equation of line. For here it is better, then you start with find the slope or gradient. When you take gradient or slope, you take y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, you get gradient. Then you find the equation of line. Y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. Then you substitute. It is simple. For here you have question number 15. That is the circle. That is circle. They have some kind of formula that the content for near 3, even in study term. Then you ask to find the value of x and y. Yes, then for that figures. Also, I will show you in the marking guide. For here we have question number 16. For question number 16, we ask to determine the key -2 means that the value of x is -2, then you substitute. After that, they ask you to make factorize. Yes. After making factorize, you ask to find what you call solve. For here, it is not necessary to repeat all steps. When you make factorize, then you get factors. When you're gonna to find the solve, meaning the solve is the value of x, but factorize is you get factor. You take factor for b, then each factor must be equal to 0. Then you find the value of x, then you put solution. It is not necessary to repeat all steps because the time in the national exam is counted. If you repeat step, you will match with the consequences of you don't finish the national exam. If you don't finish all the question, means you will fail or you will score the lowest grades. Yes. Question number 17. Out of 17 teachers in the school, 10 teach economics, 9 teach mathematics. The number who teach both subjects is twice. That's the number who teach none. Means that for here the hint is that's twice. Means that the number of both is 2x, but the number of none is x. That is the hint. Then if you understand that one, the question is it was already finished. That is a you ask a none of subject, meaning you find the value of x both, then you value of x you get, then you might play with 2 only one subject, then that is I will show you in the marking guide. Question number 18 you have, that is statistics, which was already all each year they will be repeated. That is for here you ask to complete that table. That is simple. Even that is the content for P6, for senior 1, for senior 2, for senior 3. So I think you will try your best, but it is in the marking guide. For here we ask to find a mode. When you say mode, it is the highest frequency. A median, that is then the number which was in the middle. And even a mean is summation of x over 2 or summation of fx then over summation of f. Are the same. For question number 19, a man investing, that one to the compound interest. Then you ask first year, B amount of 2 years, C amount of 3 years. That is the compound interest. Question number 20. That is the unit number 8 in senior 2, which deal with translation, reflection. Yes, please. Then show us what we give us the point. First one, you give us the point. We ask to check whether is a collinear. When you try to check whether is collinear, means when you plot graph, you get straight line. It means that point are collinear. Or you find the vector AB and vector AC, then you make then you find the determinant for that vector when if it is not equal to 0. it means that the points are not collinear. Or if you draw that graph by Cartesian plane, it is not straight line. Also, it is not collinear. Choose your best. I will show you in the marking guide. Don't worry. For B, we have point A, B, C. We ask to find the image. For here we have translation vector. Remember the image is equal to object plus translation vector. It is simple. It is very simple. Even for B, for the image you obtain in A, then we ask also to make translation and that vector are the same. But when you have A prime, you have A double prime. Also the formula are the same. Yes. And also for the triple I, we ask to calculate the translation, the image, but when you use vector u plus vector v, you make the summation of vector u and the v. After that, then you use like you have one vectors. Also the formula are the same. Then you ask to compare, then you conclude, then you plot graph of Cartesian plane. Yes, it is noticed. That is the end. For here, for section B, you must try to attempt only 3 questions. When you gonna to attempt a question, you must try to compare the marks you will score for each question. For instance, when the one question you get 15 out of 15, but when the first one you can get 7 out of 15. For others, 8 out of 15. For others, 9 out of 15. For others, 10 out of 15. You may attempt for the question which you will score 10 and 9. Yes. Okay. Let us start for the marking guide. Please, if you have any suggestion, any comment, please write in the comment, or even you can write in them with my email for any issues. And even for if you have you need to give us any support, even for idea, even for hard, please contact us. Don't worry. Let us start. For the question number A, that is the solution, we have that set 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 12. Then you may use belong or not belong in. 2. Belong in A, yes, because for here we have 2 that is in that set. 3. Belong in that A, no, because there is no 3 in that set. 8 belong in A. 80 is not belong for that set. Even you see 10 belong with that set FA, then you have that 10. Yes, that is question. That is simple. Simple. Question number 2. That is, you may try to approach what you call body mass. When you work the question which was need body mass, you start with the question with the question or data in the bracket. You make subtract. After make subtract, you continue with multiplication. You multiply with that too. After you multiply with that too, then you add or you subtract. Yes, that is what we did. Yes. Question number 3. You factorize that one. Even you can factorize by using the Rita or factorize methods. After factorize, you will get a minus 2, yes, and even a minus 2. For here, that root are the same as like that one, means that when you put on the common denominators, the common denominator is a minus 2. Then when you divide, for here we have a minus 2, for here you have 1. That is, then you make addition, you will get 2a plus 1 over a minus 2. Question number 4, that is the question for converting from base 8 to base 9. You start by converting from base 8 to base 10. You take 4 times 8 power 0 times 1 times 8 power 1, 5 times 8 power 2. That is, it is very simple. Then you make addition, you get 332 in base 10. After that, you divide by with 9. Then you divide with 9, you get 36. Divide with 9, you get 4. Divide with 9, you get 0. Then you start from from below to above. You write 408. That is the correct answers. Question number 5 is rationalize. For rationalize, for rationalize. For here we have that question. When you make rationalize multiply with numerator and the denominator, the conjugate of that denominator, you will get that one. Remember, I have the formula from the polynomial. When you have a square minus b square is equal to a plus b, a minus b. For here are the same. Let me consider like a square root of 5 as a, square root of 3 as b. That is, it means you have a plus b and a minus b. It means you will get a square minus b square. When you have a square minus b square, the square root will be removed. That is, you will score 5 minus 3. Then you get 2. Yes, that is rationalized. It means to remove the square root on the denominator. That's the purpose of rationalize. Question number 6. That is the question that consists with the volume of cylinder. We have radius which equal to 2 meter and the height equal to 6 meters. It is not necessary to convert into centimeters because the unity are the same. The volume for the cylinder is equal to pi radius square times height. Means you substitute for data given above, then you will get pi. The value of pi in trigonometry it is 180, but in the geometry it is 22 over 7 or 3.14. Both are the same. Then you multiply with 2 square times 6, then you will get that is the answer. Aha! Question number 7. For question number 7, that's the Taylor's theory. It was you get. Let me come to the question. Wait, please, wait. That is question. That is, you will get the Taylor states that you will take when you take x divided by 16 is equal to 5 divided by 10. Yes, means that for here you take x over 16 then equal to 5 over 10. Then you make cross multiplication, you get 10x is equal to 80. Then you means the value of x for here it is 8. Let me come to the marking guide. Yes, please. Yes, that is the value of x is 8. Yes, okay, good. That is the question number 8 consists of probability. That is the A and B as mature exclusive means that they cannot occur at the same time. The occurrence mature exclusive event same time is 0. If A and B two exclusive event, the probability of them both together is A intersection B is 0. Means the probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B. Don't forget that. Okay, good. Question number B. The sample space refer to the list of all possible outcome of experiment. Means that when you ask sample space, you try to understand it is all possible outcome. Don't put the manual. It is not necessary. That is the question for the figure. The angle A is equal to angle C. That is what I was said. Let me come also to the question here. It is better for you. For the question of the galactic, it is better to see the figure in order to understand it. For here, the angle for C, because that line are parallel, means that the angle of C and A is equal to 46. Then the angle of here and the angle of B also are the same. Means that for here, if that line they have it has like a, let me use the angle for here. Angle for here is 180. Yes, please. Means that uh, uh, When you take the 46 minus the 180, you get 134 minutes. The value of probability is 144. Yes, it is not difficult. Please, if you have any suggestion, please type in the comments. Uh-huh. That is what I say. This is okay. For the simultaneous equation, yeah, it is better to put for that algebraic in that side and even in the number in that side. Then you may use like a elimination or substitution or comparison. It is not very easy. Aha, so here, when you use elimination, the value of x is 2. Then you replace the equation 1 or 2, then you will get the y equal to 1. That is simultaneous equation. He was started in P60 in his senior 2. So please revise. And if you take piece of papers, try your best. If you have any confusion, type in a comment. Yes, I will help you. Aha. That is question number 11, which was what we call an enlargement. You take the value of length times 3, which enlargement for 3, you get 24, and the width multiply with 3, you get 12. 12, that is very simple. Question number 12, it is a quadratic function. We have the a, then we ask to take the correct answer. The correct answer is letter C. Yes, that is you may use even data, you may use even factorize. So it is not very difficult. For that, they use what you call static division. But it's not necessary to use static division, even you can use data or factorize. Yes? Okay. Question number 13. The length of x, that is the question related to Pythagoras theorem, states that x c square is equal to a square plus b square. We have the value of b and even if the value of c, then you substitute, you get 64 plus x square is equal to 144, then you make subtract, you get 80. Then the value of x is that one. For B, we asked to find the area. When you're gonna find the area of triangle, it is b times 8 then over 2. Then you substitute, take that value times 80, then divide by 2. You get the area in a centimeter square. That's question number 14 to slope. I said that is I mean y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Then you get that one. Then you have to find the equation of Rayleigh. Then use that ways by then you replace the value of y and x by using a point A or the starting point or y1 x1, then you get a c, then you substitute. Or you can use y minus y1 equal to mx minus x1, then you will get that equation. That is the unity in senior 3. Yes, sir. Then let me continue by question number 15. We have a, b, c, d is equal to, when you take 180 minus 72, you will get 180 as the angle on the straight line. Then it means that when you take x plus 180 is equal to 180. What does it mean? When you're going to find the value of x, you subtract, then you get 72 as the value of x. Then when you make the summation of the 72 as the angle of x plus 41 plus BC, I mean DCE, you get 180. Then you subtract, the value gets as the value of y is 67. Let me come to the question in order to understand very well. Yes, please make subscribe on that sciences family. And even if you are interested to join that family of sciences, the door is open. So don't worry. You can approach, then you can send your document. If you have a qualified indication and even the subject that you can be explained for that science family channel, then you will check if you have all requirement, then we will help you to join our team, because it is only one person. So the value of x is a 70, 72. Then you make the addition. Remember the sum of the angle of the triangle. It is 108. Meaning that when you take x plus y plus that 41 is equal to 180. The value of x for here you have 72. Then you add for 41. Then you subtract with 180. Then you get y as 62. So don't worry. If you have any question, please type in the comment. Let us continue with question number 16. Yes, please. Aha. For question number 16, that is also the question related to the polynomial in senior 2. We ask to replace the value of x as negative 2. Then you substitute, you get 0. Means that the first root of that polynomial is x equal to negative 2. According to that, you can continue by scientific division. When you make the scientific division, that is the coefficients, then you will have, that is the root, that's negative 2. You bring 2, then you multiply with negative 2, you get minus 4, then you add, you get 9, minus 9 times negative 2, you get 18, 9 minus 18, you get 9, then you multiply with negative 2, then you get a minus 18, then you get 0. Means that x plus 2 times, for here you put x power 2, x power 1, x power 0, times that quadratic function. Then you continue to factorize for that quadratic function. That is, you can use also delta or factorize. That is factorize. Then you will get the root 2x minus 3, then x minus 3. And then even you have other root which called x plus 2 for factorize. Then means the answer is that one. Yes? For C, when you ask to make solve, each factors you must be equal to 0. Means x plus 2 is equal to 0, 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, x minus 3 is equal to 0. Then we'll get x is equal to negative 2. That is the first one. The second one is 3 over 2. The third one is 3. That is solved. But when you have here is factorize for 15 marks for nothing. That is the question related to the unit number 1 in senior 3, which called the Venn diagram. But in that is 2 Venn diagram, not 3. For here, the hint I say that is to understand the question first. When you understand the question, you have the half of marks. When you don't understand the question, it is not easy to score the marks. The set is 17. We tell us the number of both twice to the none, means we have a 2x. None is x. In order to get economics only, you get the number of economics minus the number of both. And even in number of math, you get the number of math minus both. In order to get only math only or economics only. Meaning the summation of that is equal to 17. Then you make the summation of that, then you get the value of x. That is what I say. Yes, then the x is equal to 2. Then you substitute in the diagram, you get x is equal, both is 4. Then economics only is 6. Math only is 5. Then none is 2. Then you answer the question. For A, means that both is the number of teacher who non-subject is 2. The number of teacher both subject is 4. The number of teaching only one subject is only one subject. Means it is not economics, it is not mathematics. That means you add economics and the mathematics. Then you get 11. Question number 18, that is the statistic. You have age 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And even you have the frequency. Then you multiply, you get fx, that is what you call table of distribution. For B, we ask the mode. When you say mode is the highest frequency, is 21 minutes, there is 7. Median. You take, because for here the frequency is odd, you add the 2 divided by 4, then you get the position. Position is the number which you located in 41. Means you That is 12 plus 8 is 20, 30, 41 minutes is also 17. That is the median. Aha. Question number D. That is the mean. You have summation of fx over frequency. Then you will total frequency. You will get also 16.98. When you make the experimentally is 17 years. Aha, question number 19. That is compound interest. When you're gonna find the first year, you take principal times rate times time over 100. That is what I said. The investment is 10,000. Then you multiply with rent 10 times 1 year of 100. You get 1,000. That is first year. The amount you have new years means you will add with than that 1,000 to get 10, 11,000. That is it. For B, for question number, the year 2 is also you start with that amount. It is 11,000 times 10 over 100. Then you will get 1,000 and 100. Then you add with that interest, you will get 12,200. 200 and even start here are the same. That is a simple question for especially in senior 1 and even in senior 3. Question number 20. We check also if that point is collinear. You start by find that is the unit of come from vector. Maybe it is unit number 7 or 6 in senior 2. You start by finding A, B, and AC. Then you get that one. In order to make sure is the collinear, you take A, B, and AC. Then you make the determinant. If it is different from 0, it is not parallel, means the 3ABC is not collinear. For otherwise, if you don't know how to make that determinant, you can draw like a, for instance, in the grammar, you write each vector as the column. Then you make determinant like how to find the D in the grammar method. If you get 0, meaning the 3 points are collinear. If you don't not get 0, is not collinear. I think is understandable. Question number B. The image of the we asked, that is the question related to translation. We have translation vector and even object. They ask to find image. The hint is that formula. Image is equal to object plus a translation vector. It is not necessary to put that arrow because it is not factor, it is power. It is not vector, it is power. Point. Then you make summation. Yes. For the image B, the same. For the image C, the same. Yes. Aha. For here, they change. Remember, for here, we have a vector u, but for here, it continues with vector v. The value of vector v, it is -2 and -5. Then also, you find the image according to the direction vector, which is we provided, or transaction vector, which was provided. Then also, you use the formula image is equal to object plus vectors. Then you also ask to find the by using vector u plus vector v. For here, it is not difficult. Also, you approach the formula. That is this question. Yes, you start by adding two vectors in order to put it as the simple. Then you get the sum. After you get the sum, you use like also substitute in that formula. Then you also obtain the image as the conclusion. The composition of two translation vector u and v is the translation vector, the sum of two. That is the conclusion. That is the graph. Then you will obtain according to that translation vectors. If you have any question, type in the comment, or if you need that marking guide, also type in the comment, please. Thank you. Continue to give us your support to me and to our team by share, subscribe, comment, and like. If you like it, please type in the comment, type in the like. Or if it is not like, type on dislike. You know that the learning is permanent change of behavior. If you don't show us our mistake or our errors, we don't know which is wrong or which is true. Thank you so much for your attention. See you next time.